and I really wanted to do my Flyers stream before I did this Phillies recap. Thank you, next door neighbor that uses their ham radio to mess up my internet connection and screws up my entire routine. But I'm not going to be salty. I'm not going to be petty anymore. Yes, I'm going to be petty because I am still a little bit annoyed from that, but we have to roll through the bumps in the road, and we just got to do what it's done because the Phillies decided to have the quickest game in goddamn history, at least in my history. That was a fast ball game. 2 hours and 7 minutes. They shut out the Tigers, 1-0. Taijuan Walker probably had his best start in a Phillies uniform, going 7 innings, striking out 8. Fastball velocity was way up today, way better than it was against the New York Mets a couple of days ago, where his fastball velocity was down, and we were wondering, was he hurt? Was there anything wrong because he left the game early? But then you hear Rob Thompson after the game say there's nothing wrong. He just wasn't properly, he didn't prepare his body enough for that start. So it was just like, what the hell is going on? Comes into today's start, looks completely fine, and he just mowed down the entire Tigers lineup, which was nice to see. Offensively, your only run comes from a leadoff home run by Kyle Schwarber. Thank you, Muffet June, for waking this guy up. And yeah, that's your only run of the ball game. The Phillies probably could have had way more if it wasn't from the goddamn wind keeping every single ball in. Bryce Harper had a crushed ball to center field in the first inning that died right at the warning track. Trey Turner had a ball that died right at the warning track. JT Realmuto had a ball that died right at the warning track. So it easily could have been like 4 or 5-0 in this ball game. If not for the weather, if not for, all the haze that's coming down in the city of Philadelphia from the Canadian wildfires. Apparently, Ricky Pitaligo said on a Phillies pregame and stuff like that it's supposed to be worse tomorrow with all the haze that is coming in, in the northeast area. It's probably like spreading through Massachusetts all the way to Minnesota. Like you're getting all those like red flag warnings on your, weather apps and all that stuff. So people that, are going to have trouble breathing in this type of air, with asthma and all that stuff, all types of problems. Hopefully you're all safe out there. But yeah, I know the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, they canceled their game just because of the weird weather, the weirdness with the haze that's going on. So it's supposed to get worse tomorrow. I'm sure they'll get the ball game in. I'm not sure what they're going to do. It really just depends on how it's like out there. So we'll just have to wait and see. But overall, it was just a pitching dominant performance from your Philadelphia Phillies. Taijuan Walker, 7 innings. Sir Anthony Dominguez comes in the 8th, gets 2 strikeouts, and Craig Kimbrell in the 9th inning. Jesus. And I mean, God, this dude was just out there with a mission, strikes out the side. Just mowing down people, throwing that fastball and commanding parts of the zone. Strikes out Maton, strikes out the rest of the lineup for the Tigers in that inning, and it was just pure filth. That was like vintage Craig Kimbrell out there. I was shocked. That was fun to watch. It was. And Craig Kimbrell has had his, more dominant moments than not this year. Really, his numbers are a little bit skewed from his ERA-wise because, some of the outings in the beginning of the year where he allowed a lot of runs in bunches. But more times than not, Craig Kimbrell has been very reliable out of the bullpen, which is a nice, refreshing pace. And what's also nice? Seeing some starting pitching consistently going 7 innings in a ball game. I believe that's 3 starts in a row now where your starters go 7 innings. Going back to Sunday's win against the Washington Nationals, Ranger Suarez went 7 innings in that ball game. Aaron Nola goes 7 innings in yesterday's ball game, and today Taijuan Walker goes 7 innings. Now it would be nice to see if Zack Wheeler can do the same exact thing and bounce back from his terrible outing against the Washington Nationals last Friday. That would be a very nice change of pace, having 4 starts in a row where you go at least 7 innings in the ball game, and this is definitely the team to do it against. This Detroit Tigers team is not good. And honestly, yes, you won 4 games in a row. You're playing 2 series against really bad teams. I personally don't care. I would like to see these guys get a little bit of confidence against these bad teams. Trey Turner yesterday with the 2 home runs, getting 4 hits. Nick Castellanos getting a bunch of hits. Kyle Schwarber going deep. These pitchers, going 7 innings in the ball games, getting themselves a little bit of confidence, getting their arms, better. Hopefully you can just build some more consistency. Now, still, I'm not going to go full, like I said yesterday, I'm not going to go full crazy that this team is back, but it's still a nice change of pace. Seeing your starting pitching go deep into the ball game, and look how much more refreshed it makes your bullpen. to where you don't have to use 50 arms coming out of it, to where you don't have to use Matt Strahm for 50 innings, where you don't have to use Connor Brogdon for 50 innings, where you can only, you only have to use your back end guys for some nights, where you use Sir Anthony, maybe you use Gregory Soto, and then you finish it out with Craig Kimbrell in the ninth. Until Jose Alvarado comes back, which is most likely going to be this weekend against the Los Angeles Dodgers, those guys have been, huge in the back end, which is nice to see. But it's really huge for your starting pitching to go out there and go deep into the ball game to give your bullpen much needed rest. Because this bullpen over the past so many weeks, just basically the entire season, has been completely overused. Completely. And there were some things during this ball game offensively wise. It wasn't that they were doing anything bad. They were just getting incredibly unlucky. Like I said, with all the hard hit balls that were, dying at the warning track. And the Detroit Tigers, they were making some nice defensive plays in the infield and the outfield on some really well hit balls. And I was just very concerned for that aspect, just because they're getting a lot of hard hits and they're not getting rewarded for it. Detroit's making a lot of great plays on the defensive side, so that was just making me concerned a little bit. But overall, your pitching managed to shut it down. Really, the only chance that Detroit had in this ball game was with bases loaded in the fifth inning. I believe it was no outs or one out in the fifth, and Taijuan Walker managed to get out of that situation completely unscathed. So that was a really good inning right there by Taijuan Walker. And like I said, just going to his stat line, 7 innings, 2 hits, still walked a few batters. He walked 3 in this ball game, but I guess that's just going to be the Taijuan Walker experience at this point. 8 strikeouts on 91 pitches. And if you go to that inning where he did allow the bases loaded and the Tigers had a very great chance to score there, started out with an out, but then you got a single, then you got a double by Miguel Cabrera, then you got a walk. So it was 1 out with the bases loaded. He managed to strike out Marisnick, and he got McKinstry to fly out the deep center field. So Taijuan Walker got into a jam, and he got himself out of it, which was good. But look at the, the stat line. Quick innings, 1, 2, 3s, really not having many issues for Taijuan. It was definitely a start that he needed to have, and that is the most important thing there. Offensively wise for the Phillies, you only had 3 hits in this ball game. One of those was the solo shot to lead off the game from Kyle Schwarber. Bryson Stott had an infield single in this game, and Cody Clemens had a hit. Runners in scoring position wise, you really didn't have that many chances. You were 0 for 2, and that was when Cody Clemens got a single. Then he advanced to second base on a wild pitch, and then, Nick Castellanos and Bryce Harper couldn't drive him home. But overall, it didn't come back to bite you. And offensively wise, I guess you can give credit to the Tigers pitching, but like I said, they got away with a lot of stuff just because a lot of the balls that died in the outfield, and also their defense was making some good plays. So overall, just, not fully concerned about the offense. They were scoring at least, 8 runs, the past couple of games. So they were due for a little bit of a clunker, and it really wasn't that they were bad offensively tonight. They just got unlucky. Now you come back into tomorrow's game, maybe get some luck in there. Maybe those balls go out of the yard, and we'll, move on from there. But overall, there's really not that much to talk about with this game, because it went by so quickly, and your pitching was really good. Offensively, you didn't do much, and that's it. That's it. Kyle Schwarber once again proving that it is June. He doesn't go away. He's going to continue to hit bombs with that solo shot today. I'm even surprised that that shot went out with the way that he hit it one-handed. Somehow the ball carried out. I guess the wind was just blowing in that direction for Kyle, and he got the benefit of the doubt from the wind and Mother Nature. But Mother Nature didn't want to help out Bryce Harper. You saw Bryce Harper, after that deep fly ball that he hit the center field that just completely died at the wall. You see him in the dugout. He's throwing his helmet everywhere. He's pissed because, honestly, that's 2 nights in a row where Harper probably would have been a home run on a better day, completely taken away from him from the wind. Yesterday, he had a ball out the left center field that would have probably went out if the wind wasn't blowing in. And same thing that happened today. The wind was blowing the right field. The wind brought it back in, and he got robbed of a home run in that situation. So I can understand why he's a little bit annoyed, because, it's extra runs that are taken away from you, from your team. So I can definitely understand why he's a little bit pissed there. I really can. But yeah. 2 hours and 7 minutes. The game ended before 9 o'clock. That's definitely weird. That's definitely weird. You're going to the ballpark. You're only there for 2 hours. Time just flies by. And you could do a little bit more for the rest of your night until you go to bed. So honestly, maybe that is the benefit of in disguise for this to where I can probably redo my Flyers. I am going to redo my Flyers stream at 10 o'clock. So when I end this stream, this is probably going to be more of a quick hitter than anything because there's really not that much else to talk about with this game. This game flew by. There really wasn't much offensively. The pitching was absolutely dominant. And that's basically the bottom line there. So once I end this stream, I'll take a little break, come back at around 10 o'clock, and I'll finally discuss the Flyers trade properly without internet faulties. Hopefully, that's the case. Hopefully. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So, like I said, not much going with this game. Kyle Schwarber 1 for 3, Nick Castellanos 0 for 3, Bryce Harper 0 for 3, Trey Turner 0 for 3, JT Realmuto 0 for 3, but those three guys could have easily had home runs in this ball game if the wind was blowing in their favor. Like as Bryce, even though I already went over the lineup today, I don't know why I'm going over it again. Like I said, there's really not much to talk about with this. In terms of the last game of this series, you're going to have Zack Wheeler on the mound tomorrow. He is going up against Rhys. He is 0-1 with a 3.6 ERA. I believe that was his first major league start a couple of days ago against the Chicago White Sox. He allowed 2 earned runs, went 5 innings. They lost that game 3-0, but he also struck out 6. Throws right-handed, so you don't have to worry about many lefties. Again, you don't have to go worry about, having another lefty on the mound. So at least that's beneficial. And then try to find a way to sweep tomorrow with Zack Wheeler on the bump. He definitely needs to bounce back from that terrible start against Washington. He really needs to. Like, seriously, he had the fantastic start against the Braves. Then he followed that up with a clunker against the goddamn Nationals. Bounce back and go 7 innings at least against this terrible Detroit team. Do it. Do it. And then you got this huge stretch upcoming, 7 games against the Dodgers and on the road against the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Dodgers are going to have Ranger Suarez and Nola in that series with a bullpen game, most likely. Both teams look like they're going to be throwing bullpen games. And then for the Arizona Diamondbacks series, you're going to have Taijuan Walker, Zack Wheeler, a bullpen game, and Ranger Suarez. And then eventually you go out to Oakland and all that crap. Then that's basically the rest of the schedule from there on out. But basically looking in front of you, this last game against Detroit, those 3 games against the Dodgers, and the 4 games against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Win tomorrow. You get off on Thursday, and then you focused on the Dodgers. Bottom line there, get the sweep tomorrow. I demand it, and we move on. Bottom line. Bottom line. You've won 4 games in a row right here. Keep building on it. You are now 29-32 on the year. Get your 30th win of the season tomorrow. Sweep this goddamn Detroit team. Get them out of Philadelphia. Do it. Do it. So, really not much going on here. Comment section, I see a Star Wars 99. Good pitching by Walker. I agree with that. But really, no voicemails tonight. Like I said, more of a quick hitter. We'll pause it here. We'll stop it. Then come back a little bit later for the Flyers stream. Hopefully, a little more people will join in because that's more of the hot topic today. Like, I apologize for stopping that stream, but the goddamn internet connection was so bad that I had to wait for it to stop. Like I said, I get this weird interference that I can hear in my earbuds, and it just completely fucks up with my connection. It used to fuck up with the microphone to where I wasn't even able to talk, and the keyboard and the mouse. Now it's just the internet connection. So, it's not happening right now. It probably won't happen later on. So we just got to roll with the punches. Hopefully more people will join tonight. And we'll see. So, for now, I'll see you later on, everybody. But for people that are just tuning into the Phillies stream, thank you for joining as always. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. I like to see those. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Don't forget to check out everything in the description down below. Recommend that stuff. Also, hit that subscribe button. Does me a great deal of service. We just, surpassed 770 subscribers. We're getting closer and closer to 800. And once we get over 800, we're getting closer and closer to 1,000. So join the TTP Sports family. Also, use the code TTP Sports, $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK. Great deal. Don't pass it up. Thanks again for joining to the Phillies recap tonight. And I'll see you in about 40 minutes.